Okay, I am going to show you very quickly how to unclog the filter that's inside of the chain lubricant reservoir for a Dewalt brushless chainsaw. I've already cleaned everything up, so I'm going to do this in reverse to save you time and pain of watching me deal with the dirty parts. So this is the reservoir. This, as you can see on the outside, is the reservoir gauge, if you will. There's your minimum line. And when you take this out, after you've disassembled the chainsaw, there's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to do that. There are two screws. Once you unscrew the oil cap, take the oil cap off, and there's two screws right here. They're small hex screws. And if you installed your own aftermarket washer to prevent the leak that everybody complains about, take that out. Make sure everything is clean. And really, I went to the nth degree to make this look like new, because I figured, why do all this work only to have the filter clog again? So I sprayed everything down with WD-40 a few times, and then I used dishwashing soap and water inside and out, foamed it a couple times, rinsed it several times, and even if there are a couple oil water drops left over, it's not like a internal combustion engine where you have to worry about water inside it. A couple of flushes through with chain lube oil and the water will go away. If I'm wrong on that, please comment for the benefit of everybody else. But anyway, here it goes. So this is, when you take these two screws out, you push on this, and this whole assembly will pop out through the back of the chainsaw. And then just kind of doing this on my own, this is kind of a washer that you pull off, and then this slides out. So that's what it looks like. And this little guy was full of sawdust that I was not careful enough to make sure when I was filling this up with oil that sawdust wasn't falling back in there. So I recommend when you refill this, make sure, take a compressed air can and spray off all of the sawdust before you fill it up with oil, which sounds like a pain, but it's less of a pain than having to do this. So here's the filter. This pops off. Again, put some WD-40 in here, blew it out a few times, soap and water, let it dry out. There's that. And this tube, I also took apart to clean. This washer slides like this. Take it off. All right, there's that. And there's a spring in here, and I'm assuming this was in here, or this is in here, so that the oil tube doesn't kink. So you can pull that out too. You can see here, it's just a little spring. And I cleaned those out also with WD-40. So then in reverse, you can, once you put it back in, you can squeeze it back up here. I just put it all the way there. Make sure you put the washer in the correct way. The large flange end will face towards the top of the tube. You put it in like this, and then you pull it, and then put the filter back on like that. Thread it through, and make sure that the filter goes all the way to the bottom of here, or else it's not going to suck all the oil out, and you're going to be filling up the reservoir with oil more often. So push this all the way in, and then you can push the tube in until the filter, I did that wrong, pull it out, pull it through more than enough, and you'll see this bottoms out right here. You can see that, it's right there. And then push this in. Okay. And the tube is curved, so just pull it gently enough so that it's still at the bottom, but not kinked, and gives you enough tube here to plug it back in. And you can just rotate it around if you have to. Put your washer back in, and before you put this back, make sure everything else around it is clean and free of old oil and sawdust. Pop this back in from the opposite side. You'll be looking at it like this. And once it's back in, tip the chainsaw body over, put those 2 screws back in, and reassemble the chainsaw body, and oil will flow like magic again. So hope this helped.